All right, we're back alive. Hopefully everybody's doing great. Today is Tuesday, the 21st, right?
Yeah, 21st.
First Tuesday, June. Hopefully everybody's doing great. I got Amar on the other side. Let them know what's going on.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Hope all is well.
Good, good, good. Before we start, man, I want to come up with a little rant, like a 2 minute, 3 minute rant about vegans. Can I do that?
It's your show, man. Take it away.
Well, I follow vegan groups on Facebook. I follow them on YouTube, and I follow social media. And to me, it seems like a lot of them are soft. You know, they're always crying about shit, finding different ways how to deal with animals and stuff like that. And in my opinion, it seems like vegans are like a soft group when it comes to to talking to people, and if you experience them. And to me, it seems like more of the Caucasian side. I'm not going to be on the racist rant or whatever like that, but it seems on the Caucasian side when it comes to veganism, a lot of them come out to be crybabies, soft. In my opinion, you know, they try to put animals in the same, how you say it, category as, you know, human beings or man or woman or whatever like that, and that you have to treat them the same way like you would treat a human being. And the reason why I say that is, one person was like, I know people heard Cesar Millan. He's the one who trains the animals and stuff like that, and he does like psychological work with animals and stuff like that. And in the video, one of the vegans commented that he kicks the dog, he treats them bad and shit like that. And in my opinion, a lot of these dogs that he trains and stuff like that, or animals that he trains, come back from psychological problems. A lot of them have been abused and stuff like that, and you have people commenting that he's treating them bad, he's hitting them, he's the way he hit, you know, he kicks them and stuff like that. And what I have to say is they're animals. You to psychologically train some of these animals, you have to do different steps. You're not going to treat them like animals, you know, speak to them nicely and stuff like that. A lot of them you have to be aggressive with. If an animal is aggressive with you, I think sometimes you gotta be aggressive back. You know, they got different instincts than we do. You know, their instincts, their natural instinct is way different than ours. So I wanted to comment and say that a lot of these vegans are soft as hell. They cry too much, and that's why people don't take them seriously. Um, I was watching another one in Canada where, you know, people were crying and stuff like that because pigs were going to a slaughterhouse. And I understand why they're crying for, but why the fuck they crying for it? At the end of the day, it's still a pig, you know. And if you're gonna fight the how you say, the slaughterhouse industry, which I don't think you're gonna be able to go against. But I think they just soft at the end of the day. 95% of vegans just get a bad rap because they're soft, and I think they just sit around and cry and mope and try to put animals in the same category as human beings, and that's my rant for today. That's all I wanted to talk about. What's your opinion on that, Mr. Amar?
What I noticed, especially when I was vegan and even vegetarian, I noticed, and it's not racism, but I just noticed that a lot of people, like Caucasians, when they adopt a vegan philosophy, it's not just about not eating meat or animal products. They do it from a kind of like a nature we are one perspective. So they also do it from treating animals fairly. So that's why like a lot of PETA people might cross over, because they do it from, like you said, thinking that animals have similar rights to human beings as opposed to other types. And of course, you got other ethnicities that do the same, but vegans, people have it for different philosophies. Some people do it for purely for health, but yet they'll still rock a fur or they'll rock something that's, animals or whatever, but it's more an internal thing. Other people, they have this oneness where they can't step on a roach, fly, fly, squat
Yeah.
a mosquito. You know what I mean? So it's that whole Jainism is what it's called, where they have to honor. everything around them to not harm it. And that's what kind of makes them, as you say, soft. As opposed to other vegans, they just do it because of health purposes for their body. So that's the difference. Some people I have to respect nature to the point where I can't even fly a, squat a mosquito, while other people just do it, just to improve their health. So those types you're talking about, those are the people that don't rock furs. They protest against animals. If a gorilla has a baby, they have no problem. They get upset if you shoot the gorilla, if the baby's harmed. They look at it as equal. So it's different types of vegans, and that's the ones you're approaching are the ones that they don't want to hurt a fly at all, literally.
Yeah, it gets to the point where you watch these videos, and it's, to me, some of these people get carried away. I understand that you feel some type of way about, them killing animals and stuff like that, but what you gotta understand is a small percentage of people that are vegans who, I still probably wear sneakers, not as much as I used to. I try to buy sneakers that are not animal made, but at the end of the day, the reason why I think vegans get a bad rap is just because of the soft side of crying about everything, about you step on an ant and you do this, you do that. I know we probably taken some of their land and used it for ourselves and stuff like that, but that's life. It's something that can't be changed, or things that can't be controlled. So that was my rant, my 5 minute rant about vegans, and I think I have the right to talk about it because they get on my nerves.
Let it out, let it out. Rants are healthy. I was ranting all week last week, isolated some people.
Now let's get back to a subject that I want to bring up to you, because I know once I tell you this topic, you'll go off on this one. Are gays the new black?
Um,
Because before you go, the reason why I said that is somebody put a post up, and they had a sign where they had the you know how back in the days they had the black water fountain and the white water fountain.
right.
So this gay group, they put that picture, that meme, next to a meme of the bathroom where they have a men bathroom and a girl bathroom, and they try to say that it's the same way. What's your opinion on that?
Well, that's what's going to happen because the whole gay rights timeline and patterns has followed the civil rights movement. Because, like I always say, most of the things in this country, race is used as a tool to deliver a message. The civil rights movement was something that changed America, but every group that fights for their rights, whether it's women, no matter what race, homosexuals, other ethnicities, no matter what it is, black people set the tone for change, and then every other group follows. It goes blacks, women, other ethnicities, and now homosexuals. So the reason why they do that is because when you do that, it makes it hard to argue. It makes the person that argue against it foolish. You know what I mean? But gays definitely not the new black because gays are not oppressed. They have the same rights. Even the marriage thing that just came in, they haven't been oppressed. But the thing is, they are becoming what's called a protected class. So anytime you have a protected class, it's going to follow whatever the civil rights that black people did. So that's why with this transgender thing in the bathroom, if you see a picture of water fountains, colored water fountains, next to a transgender bathroom or something like that, automatically it's going to make the person that argues against it look like they're discriminating. That's why anytime I talk about homosexuality, I distinguish it between personal preference and that's it. Don't link it to any other type of struggle because it's not the same. Certain struggles have to follow a certain pattern. They have to follow a level of oppression. When Jews talk about the Holocaust, they link it back to a certain oppression. When blacks talk about slavery, they link it back to a certain oppression. When Native Americans talk about their rights, they link it back to a certain oppression. Homosexuals don't have a certain oppression at all. They don't have the same isolation. They have a social stigma, but a social stigma is not isolation. But they're using civil rights to gain certain voices in order to push a certain agenda. So you got to distinguish between personal choice and preference, between that and legalities and rights.
That, and the same thing. Why I said the same thing, because none of these gay groups come out and help the black community when it comes to when they're going through their problems. You know, when what was that? Black Lives Matter. No gay right group came out to help out. You know, the Black Lives Matter movement. And I just don't think, or I just, in my opinion, is no way that you can put no way you can put them in the same, you know, how you say it, in the same, uh, how you say the word gonna come out, but you can't put them in the same struggle because it's been gay people from back in the days, and to me, depending on how much power you have, it didn't matter if you were gay, but if you had power and you were black, there was a problem. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely correct, and that's why you can't compare it. You can't compare it. In fact, people in the gay community, they don't even stand up for themselves. There's a officer in the military who's in prison now. She was a transgender. His name is Private Bradley,
Mm-hmm.
and Private Bradley did the same thing that Snowden did in terms of being a whistleblower. But you don't hear a lot of that in the media. You don't see the gay community stand up for that. Why not? Here you have a transgender individual that was showing the some of the deception that the government did on WikiLeaks, and yet there's no gay pride when it comes to defending this individual who's now in prison. So it shows you that this is an agenda. Plain and simple, it's an agenda. They're gaining a voice, but they can't align to the black struggle at all. They don't speak out against it. They don't align against with it. Um, so it's fraudulent. It's a pure agenda, plain and simple.
Yeah, and that's my opinion. When people make these memes and stuff like that and trying to compare uh, anything with black struggle or black racism, is no way you can match anything. You know, gay people weren't taken from their homeland. Gay people weren't stripped of their, you know, of their humanity, of their culture. Unless unless you're black and you're gay, you know, that's a different story. But that gay struggle is not. And at the end of the day, a lot of gay people are in a power position. I mean, just with rap music, a lot of a lot of rap music in the background, gay people are the one who dress the rappers. You know, even the music industry, the people in the background are gay. So I think people make people being gay bigger than what it really is. You know?
Yeah, it is. It's more of a push for you to accept a lifestyle as opposed to push for equality. Because if you're a landlord, you're still going to rent an apartment. You know, you have the same rights. That's it. You have the same exact rights. The only thing that they didn't have was what? That they can marry each other. And
Yeah.
even now that's gone. But they never knew what it was like. For that meme, they don't know what it's like not to drink the same water fountain. It's a biological common sense that you can't use the same bathroom. It's just common sense. Now you're putting parents in a situation where they have to explain that to their children. So it's not the same. It's a different kind of struggle, but they're trying to make it as an oppressive struggle as opposed to a cultural lifestyle struggle, which is two different things.
Yeah, I was watching a little boozy interview he had with DJ Vlad, and he was saying when he got out of prison, um, he was so upset and was confused on why everything had gay things in it. Like cartoons had like kids dressing up in women's clothing. Everything was like gay stuff, and he was like, why do kids at a certain age need to know about gay stuff? There's no reason that they should push that gay agenda on little kids when they don't even know about that kind of stuff. Why do you think right now they're just not caring where they put it at? Do you think it's to try to educate the people on it, or they just trying to manipulate the minds of a kid and have them do whatever they want to do as far as being gay or lesbian or whatever you want to be?
I think it's pure manipulation because if it was education, you would see more information on the cause of homosexuality. You don't see anything on genetics. You don't see any studies in terms of what's the state of mind when two people come together and procreate and a child is born. Is that a cause of homosexuality? So if it was education, you would see more classes, more studies, more commercials and things like that that look at the cause of homosexuality. So it's not education. And if you have homosexuality, that kind of disrupts the family unit in a sense. And when you disrupt the family unit, chaos brings more money. So if chaos brings more money, then that propaganda adds to it. But it's definitely not education because there's causes to homosexuality. So if it was about that, we would be having these kind of conversations. What causes it? What genes cause it? What is the origin? You don't hear that. So it's definitely propaganda. It's definitely, you see Empire. There's scenes in Empire where it's completely unnecessary for the script or the storyline to be conveyed, but the creator's gay, so it's an agenda. It's definitely agenda. I go on my YouTube and I see a damn rainbow heart, for no reason. And if you speak out against it or if you try to get to the cause of it, the emotionalism is so strong that it's a tide of people that rush against you. So I think if more people stood up to that and then explored the cause of that and actually separated the if they separated the cultural lifestyle from the aspect of it being a social struggle of a class of people, then we can get down to the truth of it and actually put it in its proper context.
Yeah, for me, in my opinion, when it comes to all that, I mean, we can sit here and study like if people being gay are genetic or are they just born like that or it was pushed up on them or is it because the dad wasn't in the household or anything like that. I made a video about it's called our is veganism just for gay people and white people. And the reason why I made that video in my was because that's how it seems like that it's just like a most of the vegans that you do see seem to be gay or something like that, and that's what you see whatever going around. But I made a video about it because I don't want my son to be gay. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I want my boy to be gay, and it's not being homophobic. It's just how I guess men see things, and you want to grow up and see your daughter or your son marry the opposite sex so they can have kids and they can procreate and stuff like that. So it's not about being homophobic. It's just about me, in my opinion. I want my son to date a girl, and I want my daughter to date a guy. And that's my opinion. And it seems like if you think that way, it's the wrong way to think, and you're homophobic, and you should be more open to shit like that. Um, what do you see where when people talk about stuff like that?
But that's what I'm saying. It's a personal choice. If you want to be gay, then that's your right. That's your personal choice. It doesn't mean I have to be subjected to a national agenda. I have a son, and of course I don't want him to be gay. Just like if I had a daughter, I wouldn't want her to be gay. That's my personal choice. If for some reason they decide to do that when they get older, that's their personal choice. But it doesn't mean I got to see a commercial about it or walk down the damn street
Now,
and see a bus stop with two men naked
would you
pushing condoms. I don't need to see that.
will you disown your son if he becomes gay?
Would I disown him? No, I wouldn't disown him. Just like I have friends and family members, and I don't disown them because I care more about the purity of your heart. That's the thing. It's not about the individual and their choice. It's about why is this a national agenda that's being shoved down people's throat. There's a difference. Do what you want, but as a national agenda, don't push it on me. No, there's no transgender bathrooms, and this is why I think we do need to have these conversations about context and biology. You know what I'm saying? Even if people argue and say, well, I watch a movie and I see a male and female kiss, if you're going to present that to me, then I'm going to start presenting you the natural order of things. If you choose to live something that's alternative, like I have alternative views, I am not going to push a national agenda and do my best to make a damn, you know what I mean? I'm going to go on my channels and my own thing and then speak my voice. But when you got lobbyists and you got the government and you got big media pushing it, that's not about personal choice. There's something else behind that. So that's where the distinction has to be made. Personal choice, I'm okay with. National agendas is no, it's whack.
So to end that argument, gay people are not the new black.
Hell not it, but they're being used as the new black in order to push homosexuality, and people are allowing it because of their emotions.
Do you
But
think
it's
they're
not.
making it? Do you think they're making it like that so it can be bigger than what it really is? Because
I think
when it comes
that
to racism, it brings more controversy than gay and lesbianism. Am I correct?
yeah, I think you are correct because racism is in the fabric of this country and it's not properly dealt with. Homosexuality is something that's always been in the closet.
And the thing is, I was watching a Tariq Nasheed uh lecture, and he said that black folks never had problem with gay people because it always been in the church. They always had the gay singers in the chorus, and he said that wasn't the problem. It wasn't gay people. It was just at the end of the day, it was still racism that was hurting the black community. It wasn't gay people. It was racism.
And I mean, well, there was homosexuality outside the church, but he's that's the
Yeah,
thing.
but people
But
always knew, like people in the church knew who were the gay kids, even though they didn't know, like it wasn't presented because back in the days it was different. But people knew in the church who were gay, and who weren't gay. That's what he was trying to say. That black folks didn't have a problem with it. It's just that they dealt with it in separate ways, in different ways.
they did. This isn't nothing new. This is something that's like thousands of years old, you know? You're gay, cool. Do your thing, you know? There's
Yeah,
never even if it was family issues with it, it stayed in the family, it stayed in the church. It
yeah.
wasn't on my damn TV, you know? And that's the difference. So he's right about that.
But enough about that stuff, man. What you think about LeBron James winning the championship? And that was
Uh,
kind of crazy how that was like you said, King James' birthday was on the same day that they won the championship.
I had a person unfriend me because of my rants on similar stuff, so I don't know if I should give it, but you know my
But
take, man. I think it was clearly rigged. It was clearly rigged because there's a lot of symbolism with Cleveland. If you look up Cleveland, there's a lot of symbolism with that. Winning on King James' birthday, it has to be rigged because since Jordan left, there has to be a void that's filled, and LeBron is the face of the NBA. Now you have a rival. Um, Steph Curry getting ejected, it just it was scripted. It had to go to Game 7. You know, it was on the NBA Facebook page during the OKC playoff that it was going to be a Game 7. So how are they going to put that up there months before it even happened? They knew it was scripted.
I tend to stay away from all that conspiracy theory stuff. But man, it was a weird series. It was a great series. It was one of the best series I've seen in a while. But there was something weird about it. It just looked like Steph Curry wasn't even playing how he usually plays. And it was just a weird series, man. Uh, what percentage do you think, or because we really don't got no proof of it, what percentage do you think it was rigged?
100%. That's the thing that you know why, and when going back to the gay thing and tying it in, you know why this stuff persists. All of this propaganda and agenda is because people they get so tired of people questioning that they get frustrated and they say, "Oh well, it's no big deal. It's the conspiracy." It's because of that this shit happens. We know it's rigged. You got Steph Curry's wife saying it. It's obvious. It's obvious. The reason why there's no proof. What constitutes proof? What constitutes proof? You're gonna tell me that the referee made a legit call? That's right in front of your face.
He made
It's like we don't trust our eyes. We always looking for concrete facts.
no,
You know what you saw.
he made three bad calls, and the thing is, even though he made them bad calls, the Warriors were getting stomped that game. I think they were down by 15 points when they were making them bad calls. I but I still think they lost the momentum after each call, because I know at one point they were like on either 11-0 run or 9-0 run, and then they called that bad foul, and then they lost that momentum. So I think it was momentum killer. I thought, you know, Cleveland was going to win them games, but I think it was more of a momentum killer than anything else. And I don't want to come up with is scripted or stuff like that, but it was just, to me, it was just it was a good series, but something was weird. Something was off, man. Something didn't seem right, in my opinion.
I'm not scared to say it. That shit was scripted. And it's, if you look, it is what it is. It started with Jordan. If you look, the same thing I said before in the Jordan video, David Stern, it's cash. Like I said, it was on the NBA Facebook page months before that this would be a Game 7, Cleveland versus Golden State. Okay, accident. Game 7 is on Father's Day. I believe it's the one of the top 2 highest rated. And the momentum is crucial in basketball. How is it that the 2-time MVP never got ejected during the season? Never. And he gets ejected during the finals, and they were smacking the Warriors 3-1, and then you get ejected and get, come on, it's all scripted, man. It's scripted.
They were smacking Cleveland 3-1.
Huh?
I said they were up 3-1 on Cleveland.
Yeah, they were smacking Cleveland. It was 3-1. This game was finished. It was a 7. They have the best record ever, and you up 3-1, and all of a sudden, something that's never happened during the season, the star player, the MVP, gets ejected on a call where he was coming from scoring. It's scripted, man. It has to be scripted. It's scripted.
It was a great playoffs, man. It was the first playoffs I watched in a long time, like all 7 games, I believe. I didn't watch all of them all the way through, but I watched all 7 games, and I did watch the last final, Game 7. It was just weird, man. Like, you know, us watching sports, we were always into watching sports and stuff like that. It was weird, man. I never seen nothing like it. Even watching Jordan play, maybe because I wasn't conscious of it, but maybe this time it was something was, like I said, something was off and something was weird.
There's a guy on YouTube. There's a few people on YouTube, actually, because if you do your research and if you look at NBA over a timeline and then you look at what happens, this isn't the first time something like this happens. Whether it's when the Lakers won,
remember
in the whole Kobe incident,
when the whole Lakers against the Kings, that series was like the worst.
Yeah, come on. This is, but this if you look at from when Jordan started winning until now, in the whole David Stern area. In fact, with this video, I'm gonna put a link to it. You can actually see that it's orchestrated. In fact, the more I do this, I'm gonna have more proof. But you look up magnetic rims, you look up the whole Jordan timeline, David Stern rigging the draft, Shaq saying who's gonna be in the draft and who's not. This is a script. This shit is all scripted. It is. It's not organic. Football is not organic. None of this shit is organic.
Baseball is, man.
See that? You know what it is? You know what it is? Is that I promise you, now that this social media is at its high, you watch. You see Steph Curry's wife wilding, and then she took it out. If you look at interviews, you notice that people no longer talk about the refs. It was on 60 Minutes where the referee said these games was rigged.
Yeah.
That's 60 Minutes. That's old.
And you know what they did to downplay that? They took his integrity, because I think it was Donahue or something like that is the one who were talking about it, and he's the one who got caught cheating on the games and betting on the game.
Yeah.
And they just ruined his credibility. They're like, oh, what kind of credibility he has if he's the one who cheated, you know? So that's how they try to overplay that. But I mean, you know, man, I just don't want to go back in that path and talk about.
I mean, we could pretend all day. Look, you know, it's to the point where no one has to say anything. They're gonna say it. His wife is gonna say it. The players are gonna say it because they benefit from it. And then when they don't benefit from it, someone like Ayesha Curry can't take it. She pulls her tweet. You don't have to say nothing. You know what your eyes saw. You know that damn championship was bogus.
You see, you realize why they didn't let her in the whole Warriors for Game 6? Why they didn't let them in Cleveland?
You gonna tell me that's a coincidence too?
Because Jay-Z and Beyonce were coming in, and they took their time because of them.
You gonna tell me that's not forethought, man? That just happened? Come on, man.
Your father-in-law was mistaken for another criminal. It
Never
was
happened all year.
nah.
Maybe it just happened, man. But I'm bold. I'm gonna say all this is scripted.
But
It's not.
it was a weird series, man. It was a great one. I love watching it. I think LeBron James finally played up to his potential as far as scoring points and stuff like that. But I think, like you said, it
He's
was
over.
crazy. He's what?
He's overrated. But I won't even go down that path.
Nah, LeBron. Come on, man. LeBron overrated? Nah.
He's overrated. He's mentally weak.
That I can say yes, but overrated? No.
If that was Jordan or Kobe, it would never happen. They would never be down 3-1 like
Nah.
that.
But you talking about
Never.
two different two different people, two different mindset, and two different just for you talking about Jordan, man, I went back and just started watching all his plays, man, and that motherfucker was good, yo. I know you don't like him, but he was good, man.
No, he was great. But I'm just saying, when David Stern came in the league, I'm telling you, the NBA shifted. It became less organic and became more business. Period. That is a fact. From the controversy of him rigging the draft when Patrick Ewing came in, and then all the way up when Jordan came in, and then Jordan went in. From David Stern till now, NBA has a path of rigging games primarily through the referees. And I'm not even getting into the magnetic rims. I'm not even touching that. Just off the referees. The magnetic rims makes it worse.
You said magnetic rims.
Magnetic rims. I'm going there. Magnetic rims. Magnetic rims.
I
I'm
heard you said
going
that
there.
earlier. I heard you said that earlier, but I thought you were talking about fucking something else. Now that I'm catching it, you said magnetic.
Yeah, I'm going there. Magnetic rims.
Oh shit, he went that far, huh?
That's right. Because if you look at the history of how it was on King James' birthday, man.
That was crazy. Now
Come on, man.
that was that.
LeBron wins on King James' birthday.
When you put that up, I'm like, come on, this can't be real. And then I had to go research it. I'm like, come
Did you
on,
check it? Was it real?
that was real. I had to go to different.
LeBron won on King James' birthday, and it was the first June 19th was the very first day that Father's Day happened on June 19th. And King James won on King James' birthday. And I won't even get into the Cleveland symbolism.
Yeah, let's not
Come
talk
on,
about
man.
that.
We should switch subjects, but it's scripted.com.
So you're never gonna watch NBA again? You know what too was crazy? When the Lakers got denied Chris Paul when
Yeah,
Stern blocked that trade.
he has a history of that, man. I know you don't like it. People put stuff under conspiracy, but I don't believe in the word conspiracy. I believe on documented research, patterns, and symbolism. Even in your life, if you look at the patterns of your life, you'll see certain things keep happening. It's no different with events. If events have a certain effect, it's simple. You create the effect, you cause the problem, people want a solution, you give them the solution that you want. This is historical methods. So it's not far-fetched. I was a wrestling fanatic when I was younger. I love wrestling. Wrestling and baseball, I love. You look at wrestling as WWE. That's a sport, a professional sport that we accept as being phony. So yeah, I would still watch NBA, but I would know that it's like WWE. You know what I mean? I know that the referees have their job, the commissioner has his job, and the players have their job. So now that I understand that, I won't put as much stock as I did before thinking it's organic when it's like WWE, which it is. Next year, you're going to see a rivalry, Golden State versus King James. Watch, just like Bird and Magic.
Now I see that you made a video, and I wanted to respond to your video that you made about people only get respected because of the money that they have. Something to that extent. Am I correct? You made a video talking about that not a couple of days ago?
Nah, I didn't make a video. I mean, that's my personal opinion because I think people are slaves to money. But the video I made was showing, I said successful people give more praise than unsuccessful people.
Yes. And in my opinion on that, the reason why is just in any business, there's gonna be there's gonna be people who slack, right? There's gonna be people who are not good enough for that position. And I think most people who are put in a position who succeed in their position and make the most money gets more praises because they actually do good in that position. I know you're in real estate, and who would you choose? Somebody who's just slacking and not making no money, or that one person who's working 24 hours, who's staying at the office, just exactly what you did. The reason why you're in the position that you are with your company is because you actually, I pretty much slept at the office. So do you think people who don't sleep at the office, who don't put as much work as you, should get more praise than you?
Nah, not at all. I think you misinterpreted the video.
Yeah, I did.
Like successful people are less likely to hate on somebody.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like if you see a successful person, like people that are broke or people that are like crabs in a barrel, whatever, they have a constant they hate. You know what I mean? I can see if you hate properly, but they constantly tear people down. Um, I remember reading The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and he was like, "Yeah, you might watch Oprah Winfrey, and you might start judging this person." And he said, as soon as you do that, you take away the abundance in your mind. And I said, wow, you know what I mean? So people that are really successful, even if you don't have a lot of money, you congratulate other people. Yo, good job. I'm proud of you. Type of people go on to achieve more than people that say, oh man, you clown, oh you got that by luck. That just tear you down. Those people have a less chance of success than people that congratulate and show others appreciation. So that's what I want. That's what I meant with the video.
Man, there was a good quote. It wasn't a quote, but I think it was the Breakfast Club. I forgot where I heard it at, and they were talking about um how crabs in the barrel. Have you ever seen crabs in the barrel? They try to take whoever's rising to the top. They try to take them down. You heard that before, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But one guy came out and said, of course they trying to take somebody down. They're not supposed to be in the barrel. So then once I opened up my mind, like, wow, they're not supposed to be in the bucket. Crabs are not supposed to be in their on that bucket. So I think in most people, when they're in that not in their natural state, they're gonna do stuff to that they usually won't do because they're in a position where they're not supposed to be in. What's your opinion on that? I think that was kind of great. Like I put it in a different perspective that wow, the reason why the crabs are taking other crabs down because they're not supposed to be in the bucket. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that 100%. And that's the flip side is where you can, but you can't really knock someone because crabs don't belong in a damn bucket, just like gorillas don't belong in zoos.
And the,
Um,
the reason why he said that because I think they were talking about crime and what's happening in Chicago, but he's like, if you put a whole bunch of people in the ghetto, if you take away their culture, you take away their education, and you put drugs in their community, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna take each other's lives because they think the only way they're gonna make money is by selling the drugs, killing each other, robbing and stealing. So I think that was his metaphor of using, they're not supposed to be in that position. They were placed in that position, and then people get upset because they were actually placed in that position.
I agree 100% because, but see, that's kind of what motivated the video was because even if you're in that position, what I noticed, especially living in New York, is that it's a constant reminder that you got to survive. It's a constant reminder that you're struggling. And what that does is it creates atmosphere and interactions with people that's real aggressive and intense, where you can't even have a human interaction because this person is so used to struggling that the anger comes out. And basically, they don't know how to self improve to get out of that position. So I agree with him. And I think it's still the responsibility of these people in these environments, especially all this technology, to rise above that. So he's right, but I'm also about self development, and there's kind of no excuse for that because I've been in a lot of situations where I've had little to nothing, but it doesn't give me a right to treat someone else inhumane. And I think people when they're struggling, they forget all that and they still become angry. They still treat someone nasty, and I can't agree with that. So I'm split.
Yeah, I completely understand, man. It's like just when it comes down to everything, I think it just comes down to the mindset. I know it's easier to say because we're in the position that we are. We're not, the richest person in the world, but I think we have it easier than most people in the world, And and just I think it's mindset. It comes down to the mindset of what you think you are and how you can actually remove yourself in that bad situation and find different ways. I think struggling is the best thing that ever happened to me or to anybody who wants to become successful because then you understand where you don't want to be at no more. So
Yeah,
mindset is a big thing. I think in any industry that you're in.
definitely, definitely. And I think too is like practicing um and giving people appreciation. I think even though people might not be used to that, I think once you become a frame of reference for that, the more people are around you, the more you transform your environment. Like videos like this, I think is necessary. That's why I question so much because even if it's controversial, it gets people out of the same constant loop of bills and struggle. It gets you to get to a whole different frame of reference, and I think that's what's necessary.
Yeah, man. I have to agree with you on that one, man. Well, been like almost 40 minutes, so I think we should cut it here. We won't make it too long, and I know next week we'll have a different guest. Next week, I don't know if it'll be Kevin again, or it'll be somebody else. But next week we'll have another guest on here, either Kevin or I know you want to bring somebody on next week, so we'll see who will come on next week. We'll surprise you on that one, and
Definitely. We'll have some more, controversial topics, things like that. We agreed on this one. That's we getting better.
damn, I'm doing something wrong then, man. So I have to come up with topics we can't agree on, because then it won't be fun for me.
Next week yeah, there's a few things I'm gonna bring up. I took a break on this one because I spazzed last week on Facebook. I went totally ham,
I
so
seen that, and
I'm falling back on this
I had to put jokes in your Facebook so people won't get too crazy on
one.
that.
No, I had one person get kind of crazy, but it was good though. It was necessary because right when I said NBA is rigged, his wife said it, and then the thing with the Orlando shooting, it caused conversation, man. Conversation. Um, Start the conversation. Just start it. You don't have to agree, but just start it. By starting it, you see a difference in your life.
All right, then, man. Next week, another episode, another show, and bring you more controversy, man. Peace.
Peace, peace.